Morning. I have a tomato growing. Just one tomato. There might be more, but yeah, and some basil. Really nice. This weird looking thing. Keep pulling out stuff. Don't want it to grow. I think it's morning glory. Some shallots. Green onions and stuff. Parsley's going off. Look at this. Nice, dark leafy. And I have a giant pumpkin. Look at this. Trying to keep all the ants and other things off of it. Stop them from having other wormies and stuff on it. Hopefully it'll ripen, become a full pumpkin. Got what else? Got some actual silver beet that is starting to really grow, which is good. And this thing, I've got to train it, and I've got some, I think, dill over there, and I believe this is a capsicum. Although I should probably stop it from flowering, just so it can get a bit more bushy. It's got little ones there, so. Don't flower. Anyways, hey Paul. Aha! Back again. So, Doms and Brats. Now, there's a person who asked, why don't Doms like Brats? And I was like, well, it depends on what their past experience has been, because as I've said before, there's a lot of people or subs that say, oh, I'm just bratty, and they use that as an excuse just to top from the bottom, as it were. Now, you can have subs that are cheeky, spirited, and a little, quote unquote bratty, and there's a few that I know, and they're really cool brats. They're brats in the sense of that they'll only brat to their dom. They won't just brat to anyone indiscriminately, which means that any attitude that they give will be purely to their dominant. Well, sometimes it might leach over, in which case they get punished and they accept their punishment. Now, a lot of doms in the scene will probably have brats that's, say, oh, I'm just brat, I'm just cheeky, I'm spirited, I'm an alpha sub, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes time to when they've crossed the line, when they need to accept their punishment, they go, oh no, call red, oh no, that's, all that sort of stuff. They don't accept their punishment. That's why a lot of dominants don't like brats, because brats or people that call themselves brats don't know the line. They will cross the line all the time and then complain that, you should punish me, and then not accept punishment. Which for some can be part of the game, but for others not, because each, as I said, it's a power exchange, but it's also a relationship where you have to give and take. You can't always take. That's the problem, I think, with a lot of so-called relationships and doms and subs things these days, is that it's not always that way. A lot of people don't realise that, they're either A, pushing the line, or B, that they're pushing the line, but what they're really doing is, I guess, pushing the hard limits of their relationship. So when you think of it that way, they go, oh, but I'm just being cheeky. Goes, yeah, but you're pushing the limit. I mean, if they push the limit with you, a hard limit with you, and you called red, would you stop? You go, yes. Well, maybe I think that the doms should have a safe word as well. Although people go, what dom is a safe word? I go, no. They need a word to say, look, you've crossed the line of what I think is bratty behaviour that I'll accept and bratty behaviour that I won't accept. And it requires disciplining or will require disciplining if you keep going. That can be anything. I don't know what would be appropriate for any kind of punishment or discipline, but the S-type does need to know when they cross the line. Now, I have that as well. I don't have specific safe words, or my dominant doesn't have specific safe words, or my owner, but there are certain words and phrases that we say that we go, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should just take a chill pill, or maybe they're not in the mood, or dust. Maybe, it's approaching something, or a limit, or a memory, or a trigger, or something that is not cool and could have bad consequences for your future relationship. So sometimes you'll need to say, okay, when I say this, you just think it's X, Y, Z, like you just think I'm just playing around. But when I take this tone, this manner, whatever, I'm deadly serious. I want you to stop. And sometimes it comes to the point where, the D-type will actually get up and say, look, that's enough. I'm leaving this conversation, and go. Don't follow them and keep bratting. That's not cool. But you need to also have that discussion to say, okay, when you do this and I say this and that, etc., or do this, that I am actually saying, no, I need my space. That's a limit that you've reached. Go away, leave me alone, or come back for, a bit of a debrief and a chat about it. And it will happen in normal everyday life, not just in session. Particularly when you're 24/7, it'll just happen randomly. You might come across a memory, an action, or whatever, where both sides might go, okay, well, that's triggered me to do X, Y, Z. So the reasons for a lot of DOMs not liking brats is because a lot of subs will apply the brat title to basically topping from the bottom, getting whatever they want, just being spoilt little princesses, which is fine if that's what you've negotiated, but keeping in mind that relationships are fluid and they will keep changing as you go along, as you find out more about each other. So have you ever done something bratty or cheeky, talk back, give attitude, broken the rules that you know that there were rules there for? Think about, were they actually hard limits or rules? Do you think about why they're hard limits and rules for the Dom? Not just for the discipline, but also their health and well-being. And what was the result of that? Was it an argument? Was it, sitting down having a talk? Was it just a cool down period? You've got to think of these things. Particularly now, when some people who are doing 24/7 might be cooped up with their partner for the long weekend, like 4 days, like straight, and only minimal going out to certain places. So think about that. That would be interesting. Anyways, that's a little bit of information I thought I'd have for you today. Getting a bit off the whole focus on isolation. However, I think I'll adopt a new terminology for the whole social distancing. I'll call it keeping out of melee range. Thanks so much, Kurt, for that. Definitely a D&D thing. I'll maintain my melee range, or keep out of melee range out of other people. Sounds like a good idea. Not always possible. I was in a store one day and it's this lady who just came right up close to and behind me while I was looking at something. I was like, oh, that's a bit close. But that's just my general keeping out of melee range bubble, not because of the social thing, because I just like to have my own space. Anyway, catch you guys later. Hope you have a good long weekend. I'll see you back Tuesday. I might do one over the coming weekend, but I'm not sure. I might be sort of busy, tied up, possibly literally. Okay. See you guys.